6 between the Tropics and the SeaWolves, meeting last here in Lakeland on December 29th. The Tropics winning that one by a 9-6. Heiner House, the Orlando goaltender, a little shell-shocked in that one, having some words with a couple of his defenders, hoping that they can do a little bit better job in front of him. The Tropics raced out to a 5-0 halftime lead, led it at 1.81 in the third quarter, and cruised to a 9-6 win. Although, in fairness to Orlando, that was not an 8-1 game, Chris. The SeaWolves had a lot of chances. They got behind the Florida defense pretty regularly, and it was not an 8-1 game. So this is not going to be an easy pickings game here tonight for the Tropics.
No, if I remember correctly, Brian, Hugo de Silva stood on his head that game, and could have easily been 8-1 Orlando. So should be an interesting game tonight.
Yeah, he was tremendous, had a shutout going into the third quarter. We'll give you some injury updates for the Tropics as well, as that has been, unfortunately, the most common thread for the Tropics season so far, which has been a little bit up and down, as one of the Tropics players went down heavily here in the first 20 seconds. No Victor Pereira's tonight. That's Freddie Mugin, who got a little banged up there, and Freddie has been on the injury report, of course, this season as well, and looks like he's moving okay, and that's good news. Victor Pereira's not dressed tonight. He is recovering from an ankle injury. Here's a ball now down to Arico. So no Victor, no Lucas Teixeira tonight, still nursing a hip flexor injury. Hoped to have him back last night, but as we just mentioned, Anthony Arico is in the lineup. Here's a steal by Gerson. Gerson with a shot. Arico with a save. Rebound.
Oh.
Hugo with a save. And then a goal. Inevitable.
Well, again,
bad giveaway by Hugo that time.
Yeah, I mean, there's the first mistake. Hopefully we can overcome that, but a little bit change of fortunes tonight. Orlando gets on the board first. Again, a bad clear by Hugo, who's been, you know, by my estimation, the team MVP so far this year. So, but again, a bad mistake there. And
great initial work by Arico to keep Gerson off the score sheet, but just too good a chance for the SeaWolves set up on that turnover. And so Orlando has an early 1-0 lead. Victor France, his first of the year. Here's a bicycle kick try by Ricardo Diegues, and that goes high and wide. Victor France, an important returnee for the SeaWolves tonight. He has missed their first 4 games, and takes less than a minute for Victor, the former Cedar Rapids Rampage star, to make his presence felt.
On the positive side, it's good to have Anthony Arico back in the lineup tonight after he missed last week's road trip. So it's good to have Anthony back. And as you mentioned, Victor's got about another week to go. He should be back in the lineup hopefully next weekend. And Lucas is sort of week to week here with the hip problem.
So already a different feel here tonight. And here's a 3-on-2 for Orlando. Here's Cruz at the yellow line. Drops it off on the right side. Shot. Silva with a save. Rebound in front. That's banged off the boards by Cruz. Here's another chance in front and a miss hit by Mendoza, but Orlando with a hot start here early. And a pushing foul against the SeaWolves. Silva with a big save, or it could be 2-0 less than 2 minutes in here.
Certainly not the start the Tropics had hoped for, that's for sure.
Well, one of the things Tom Traxler talked about after that loss a couple of weeks ago to his troops is what kind of response will you have tonight? And the response so far in the first couple of minutes has been very, very impressive.
Orlando Strange has only played 4 games so
right.
far, so I mean they've got a lot of games to make up here. But as we said last time, Brian, not your typical expansion side. Very seasoned team. I think once some of their outdoor players gain some indoor experience, going to be a fine side.
Here's a chance in the corner, banged off the boards, picked up there by Bowden, former Orlando City star in the Major League Soccer. He's got that good size to use indoors. Good target forward, as House will come out over the yellow line now. Guilherme with some pressure for the Tropics. Now Mugin will move up. Looking for Bowden there. Rafael Alves with the takeaway. A little push by Touloud, and they're going to call him for the contact. Unfortunate for Florida. Good call, but
better late than never.
Yeah. Yeah, it did come a little bit late as Guilherme was making a run down the left side and might have had a good scoring opportunity. Guilherme, the Tropics' leading goal getter so far this year with 9 in the Tropics' 7 games. He, of course, did not play in that loss up in Toronto. Ball looking for Bowden, and Alvis will come out of there with it. Alvis will clear the area, tracked down by Yoshio Sandoval, and he'll get it back to Heiner House. He's one of 7 Cedar Rapids former Rampage players on this Orlando roster. Of course, Victor France we just mentioned. Gordy Gerson, the best of the bunch. This is Thiago Freitas with it. Creates an opportunity at the top of the arc for France, and Silva makes the save.
Tropics seem to be back on their heels a little bit
Yeah,
tonight,
they do.
Ryan, in the first 3-4 minutes here.
Again in the Tropics zone, a challenge in there and a takeaway by Freitas. In front, shot and a goal, Gerson.
Another giveaway.
So the SeaWolves have jumped out here in the first 3-13 with a 2-goal lead. And yeah, the Tropics have just come out flat.
Boy.
There's the opportunity, and Gerson just not going to miss from the top of the box like that. Got it under Silva's arm. But yeah, the Tropics just outworked on their end of the field there. Yep.
Outplayed, out everything so far. Not the start that Coach Clay Roberts wanted, obviously.
Well, we said this would not be likely a repeat of what we saw on the 29th, and it certainly is not. Silva takes it from J.P. Reyes. Well, got to weather the storm here a little bit till they find their legs and go from there, but Orlando is out quickly. Ruiz in the corner. Edwin Rojas gets it out of there. Now it's Mendoza with it, and he loses it. Tropics will get a kick in from the Orlando side of midfield here. No chances yet for the Tropics, and Orlando has had several in cash too. They had chances on the 29th, as we mentioned. They just did not finish them, and they have tonight. Mugin deep in the corner being watched by Rojas. Edwin Rojas takes Mugin down. They say play on, and Orlando will come out of there with it. That is Rojas, and a whistle and a foul against the Tropics. It was Rojas, number 77, who had the hat trick in that game a couple of weeks ago. Of course, that's the game that Victor Pereras also had a hat trick, and he is not dressed tonight for the Tropics. But the good news is they think Victor should be back next week. They feared originally an Achilles injury, which may have kept him out for a significant period of time, but turns out more just of an ankle strain, and they think he will return. Here's Gerson. Gerson can't find any help, and Joanne Laidley will come out of there with it. Laidley along the boards trying to make a run past Rojas. Can't get it by him, and it'll roll back to House. Pressure up front by Diegas. Here's Laidley. Now pressured by Ruiz, a takedown and a foul against Kyle Ruiz.
He's lucky he didn't get a penalty on that one, to be honest with you. Excuse me.
Pretty good challenge along the boards in front of the Orlando bench. I think it was Rojas that was the victim there, but he's up. He'll stay on the floor. Gerson fighting with J.P. Reyes for it, and Reyes will play it back to Silva. Silva quickly to Alvis. Pressure again, though, and Alvis tried to find Laidley with it, but Joanne couldn't catch up. Gerson will lay it back to House. Long ball in by Richard Schmerman, and Silva will handle that one. Schmerman, may recall, played with St. Louis the first couple of years the Tropics were in the league. Came over in a trade in the offseason. There's a foul. A little tug at the jersey by Jonathan Mendoza brought Monolaris to a halt. Silva will come out to almost the center line. Of course, new rules this year mean he is not able to come past the center line. And the Tropics, again, quickly give up possession. Mendoza with it. And I know that's exactly something that Clay Roberts did not want to have happen tonight. He wanted long possessions, create opportunities, and so far they have not been able to execute that part of the game plan. This is Sandoval. Back to Schmerman now. Orlando coming in tonight 1-3. Just 4 games on the schedule. They've had an unusual early part of the season. They've had 2 weekends off already, which is rare. There's an interference and a blue card, yep. And that's because the Tropics would have had a 2-on-1 opportunity without it. If it was just a foul, but it would have been a very good scoring chance for the Tropics. And so Florida will go on the power play here. Take a look at the replay as Rico and Bowden were tussling in front of the Tropics bench, so it'll be Luke Bowden that will.
I think Luke was thinking he was back in the old USL on my last days, tugging at the jersey like that.
The Tropics on the power play this year, clicking at about 43%. Orlando on the penalty kill, very good at 86%. Both of these teams are very good penalty kill teams. In fact, the Tropics have allowed the fewest power play goals in the league this year, just 1, and that came in that game in Kansas City last weekend. They had gone 7+ games without allowing a power play goal until that extra man score in the second half against the Comets. Monolaris out there. Berche out there with Mugin, Diegas, and Max Toulouse. The power play unit right now. Mugin back to check that. That's Guilherme, not Berche. Sorry about that. Monolaris with it, down to Freddie. Freddie with a shot, save. Toulouse going to line up the rebound and misses by a mile there.
Just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside, right. Monolaris will reset the attack to Guilherme. Guilherme to Diegas, down to Freddie, but intercepted by the Orlando defense and cleared back out to the midfield circle. Monolaris will set things up again here for the Tropics power play. Minute 10 to go. Guilherme long shot. That's blocked in there by Sandoval. Monolaris with it. Monolaris over to Toulouse. Toulouse. Guilherme will take it off the boards. Took a bad bounce, and the SeaWolves able to clear it. Cruz with it. He's got a man ahead of the field. Cruz will try and get by Monolaris, and Monolaris cuts him off. Of course, the SeaWolves would love to return the shorthanded favor. The Tropics scored not 1 but 2 shorthanded goals in that win on the 29th. Foul called there against Florida as Cruz went down. Eddie, you can get up. There's no blue card coming, my friend. Tropics will make a couple of changes here on the power play unit, I think. No, I guess Freddie was coming over to the bench, so JP Reyes will come out here. Just while I think Orlando has possession, and Freddie will come back on when the Tropics regain. And now we have a warning called against, I believe it's Orlando. Delay warning. Oh, check that. It was an illegal substitution warning against the Tropics. It was for JP Reyes, in fact. So Freddie will have to come back out, I guess, although now he's back on the bench, so we'll sort it out on the far sideline.
All right, I'm confused again, Brian.
Yeah, I am too. The Tropics only have 4 players out there at the moment. Not sure why they wouldn't be allowed to have 5, but on the illegal substitution, they only can, I guess, put a player back on when the ball goes live. So it's very briefly here, 4-on-4. Here's a long ball by Gerson, and Silva makes the save.
That was actually Schmerman.
Pardon?
That was actually Schmerman.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was Richard Schmerman. You're right. They both have the platinum look, but Richard's a lot taller.
Yeah, he's about a foot taller.
Yeah. House comes out to try and get out of trouble. Tropics back on the power play here with 21 seconds to go, and Florida will get a kick in here from a kind of a dangerous spot. Both Guilherme and Monolaris are guys that can find the back of the net from distance, but we will wait to see what the Tropics have in mind over these final 21 seconds of the power play as we have a timeout here in Lakeland. The SeaWolves out in a hurry. They lead it 2-0. Back with more MASL soccer in a moment. Tropics still with 21 seconds left in the man advantage. As we take a quick look at the rules of indoor soccer, if you're not that familiar, we play 4 15-minute quarters. There's no stoppage time added. And like hockey, there's 5 forwards, midfielders or defenders, and a goalkeeper. The blue card we've already seen tonight means a 2-minute penalty. You can change on the fly, a la hockey, and basically the ball is alive anywhere in the field of play. A lot of hockey strategy, a lot of basketball strategy on offense. Here's Monaleros on the restart. Down to Ricardo, back to Toulouse. Gets it across to Guilherme. Guilherme down low to Freddie. Freddie with a shot, and it's taken off the line by Sandoval. Nice play by Sandoval right there as it got by House, and Sandoval was there to take it off the line and deny Florida its first goal of the game. Bowden back on the floor now. Monaleros to Diegues. He will miss Victor Pereira more than you might know. Here's Bowden. Guilherme trying to get back. Here's Bowden with a shot. They almost went 5-hole. Good save by Silva. Schmerman with the rebound, trying to get the long shot away, blocked by Toulouse. Schmerman will get the rebound, however, and reset it back to Sandoval, who made the defensive play of the game here so far. Had a car accident or have a personal injury, then look to Brooks, our official injury attorneys. Go to brookslawgroup.com or call 1-800-LAW-3030 for more information. Diegues tried to get it to Ruiz, couldn't do it. Diegues and Pereiras have been partners on the soccer pitch indoors and out for 8 years now. And Victor is tremendous at setting Ricardo up for many opportunities. So Ricardo will have to rely on someone else here tonight to create scoring chances for him. Here's Thiago. Came over from the Harrisburg Heat in a trade a few weeks ago. Through ball intercepted by Ruiz. Here come the Tropics, Mugin. Mugin trying to stay ahead of the field and get by Rojas. Couldn't do it as Edwin made a good recovery and whistle and a foul against Freddie. Thiago was the Heat's leading scorer each of the last 2 years before coming over. Here's that play by Sandoval. Freddie at a tough angle, but he got it by House, and there you can see right on the line Yoshio Sandoval with a very heads-up effort, and it keeps the score at 2-0. It's the kind of plays that win you games. Rojas into the Florida end of the field and knocked back the other way by Berche, goes out of play, and it'll be a kick in for the SeaWolves. Tropics come in tonight 3-5 after that tough road trip last weekend. They lost 5-4 in St. Louis. That was the game Victor Pereiras got hurt, and got hurt early, as a matter of fact. Went out in the first quarter, about midway through the quarter, did not return, and of course did not play in Kansas City as well. Tropics almost came back in that one, outscored St. Louis 3-0 in the second half, and had a bunch of good chances in the fourth quarter, just could not find the equalizer. And then got pretty much outplayed the next afternoon in Kansas City and falling 7-2.
Yeah, they had a bad 5 minutes in St. Louis, and it cost them the game.
Yeah, 4 goals in less than 4 minutes by the ambush. Alves could not get it through to Diegues. Yeah, that was one of those moments of fury that Coach Clay Roberts worries about, knows that can happen very easily in the indoor game. Boy, there were some moments of fury all out throughout the league last night. Might have been one of the best nights of indoor soccer in the history of the MASL. Here's Guilherme with a dance and a takedown and a blue card. Cruz will head to the box.
Well, if there's ever a good penalty to take, that was it. Although Guy was on his right foot there, which is not his predominant foot, but obviously a quality scoring chance as he gets pulled down there. But it's a good penalty for them to take.
Yeah, no question about that call. So Florida will get their second power play of the game. The Tropics came into the game tonight with the fewest power play opportunities in the entire MASL this season. They have not been the beneficiary of many blue cards, but second power play here tonight, really need to convert. Freddie to Guilherme with a shot and a goal!
That didn't take long.
Yeah, 2 seconds. Guilherme actually missed on the short side, but it hit Heiner House in the back and rolled over the goal line. You can see it right there.
Hit him in the Heine.
Yeah, hit him in the Heiner House. Yeah, the Heine House. But the Tropics will take it as they cut the Orlando lead in half at 2-1.
What's the old adage, Brian? I'd rather be lucky than good.
Yep.
Well, hopefully that'll wake us up now.
10th goal of the season for Guilherme. He came in fourth, tied for fourth in the league overall in goals scored so far this season, so that will help the total. This is France being watched by Monaleras, and France taken down.
Dos Santos goal coming in the 4:20 mark in the first quarter. That's his first goal.
Well, when you think, Brian, that Guilherme wasn't even supposed to be a forward this year,
right?
Can you imagine where we'd be without him right now?
Yeah, very good point. He was only brought up front because of injuries to Ricardo Dieguez and Freddie Mugin as Schmerman sends one halfway to Bradley Junction.
I don't know where that is, but I'm assuming it's very, very far away.
It's right down there on Route 37.
Okay.
Not too far south of Lakeland. Lovely little hamlet. I think it's the Steven Star Deli, their only business in town. So, special hello to our friends down at Bradley Junction tonight. Here's a ball through to Monaleras. Sandoval going to get there first, however.
Jeffrey Gerson.
Yeah, and we got two balls on the floor at the moment. They finally kick one out. Not sure where that second one came. Here's the ball up to Alves. Rafael Alves with it. Alves gets it to Dieguez. Dieguez tried to leave it then for Alves on a little give and go. Couldn't do it. And here's a counter by the SeaWolves. Gerson. Good intercept by J.P. Reyes. Steady veteran defender that he is. Makes a good play. Has a little bit of Orlando indoor soccer experience, does J.P. Played a handful of games with the Orlando Sharks that played 1 year in the Major Indoor Soccer League.
If you blinked, you missed it.
You did. I think they lost their first 16 in a row, something like that. They were kind of a disaster. That might be kind.
I heard that the owner of the team turned the lights off because he wasn't happy with the officiating.
Yeah, there was some strange things that happened there. There's no question about it. That was actually the year I moved down here, so did not actually catch any Sharks games that year. But JP, I think, played 5 games for Orlando then. Here's a chance for the SeaWolves and a goal.
Bad line change there again.
Yeah, too many opportunities here for Orlando, and unlike December 29th, when they had similar opportunities, they're finding the back of the net here. Yeah. And the SeaWolves have now gone on top 3-1.
Bad line change there. We'll see the replay here in a second.
But, gave Orlando a opportunity, and
no chance for Hugo on that one.
Yeah, you can see the Tropics defender getting into the play late. So the power play goal by Guilherme is answered rather quickly by the SeaWolves. Here's Guilherme in the corner. Good defensive play by Orlando there. Looked like a chance for Florida was shaping up, and I think it was Thiago himself who just scored the goal, who made the good play in front. So we said Thiago coming over from the Heat, leading Harrisburg in points each of the last 2 seasons. Long attempt by Monaleras, easily knocked out of there by the Orlando defense. Here's a long ball by Berche, and that never got through. A lot of traffic in front, and Berche going to be called for a blue card as he went up high on Jonathan Mendoza.
Well, let's see if anything actually happened here.
There's a replay, and it was a little inadvertent. Looked like his elbow got up in near the face area. It wasn't I don't think Berche knew exactly where his man was, but nonetheless, the SeaWolves will get their first power play opportunity of the night. Toulouse will be out there with Guilherme, Arico, and Lucas Monaleras. So we said very good power play unit for Orlando. Luke Bowden tied for the league lead in power play goals with 3 in just 4 games. They have a power play efficiency of about 67%, which is very good. Sandoval on the intercept. SeaWolves will set it up now. Rietas with it. Ball down into the corner. Shot, good leg save by Silva off the foot of Lewis Neal. Corralled by Thiago. Over to Sandoval. Being pressured by Arico. And now back out to Thiago. Long ball into Gerson, and Gerson couldn't quite connect with that one as he had parked himself far post. Guilherme with it, looking for Arico. Sandoval on the rush as well, and Sandoval will make a good play and just does get it back to House, who's shaken up on contact by Arico. No blue card, just a foul against Anthony.
You know, not to sound anti-soccer, Brian, but this is the problem with soccer. I mean, he barely touched the guy.
Yeah, not a lot of contact.
And he's pretending like he was shot.
Yeah.
And I'm saying both teams do that.
Yeah.
It's bad for the game.
And Anthony with a couple of words for House and the acting job that he put on there. But yeah, it happens all the time, and it isn't great for the game, especially indoor. One of the things the league really wants to emphasize, and a lot of the rules changes that they have tried to put in place are all about the flow of the game. And when you have guys just flopping around after minimal contact like that, and the Tropics are just as guilty. There's no.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
There's a chance down low and a goal. Boy, the Tropics defense got up, really high.
It was way too easy.
A great pass from, I think it was Thiago, and Orlando has a 4 spot here in the first. See if it was Neal maybe on the goal. Didn't
I think it was.
Catch a number there, but look how much, I mean, there wasn't a Tropics defender anywhere near Neal as he had just the easy redirect past Silva. And it's 4-1 with 1:39 still to go here in the first quarter. Stunning first quarter for the Tropics. They just have been flat.
I dare say this has been the worst quarter of an actual Tropics team this year, Brian.
Yeah, that certainly at home. And maybe overall, you're probably right. Did not see it coming. Of course, tons and tons of time. As we were talking about last night in the MASL, there were 5 games. Every single game was decided by 1 goal. Here's a header in front as Alves tried to get it to Dieguez. Couldn't do it. No more heartbreak than in Toronto, where Mississauga looked like they had the game winner against Utica with about 50 seconds to go, and doesn't Utica score not 1 but 2 goals in the final 40 seconds to win it 5-4. Dieguez trying to hook Edwin Rojas, couldn't do it, and Rojas will get it over to Mario Alvarez.
Let's go Tropics!
Ahead to Bowden now. Bowden being watched by Alves, and Silva will come off the line to collect. Gets it to Arico. Arico off the boards now from Lately, looking for Mugin in front, but well past Freddie as the Tropics needed a line change. Alves will pick it up at midfield, has a little bit of space, gives it on the right side to Touloute. Touloute, good one-on-one skills. There's a shot, good save by House. Chance now for Rojas. And Alves just got a piece of it, and it rolled to Silva. Ahead, again, a long ball, but again, Orlando will immediately pick up possession, and they will head to the second quarter with their best quarter, no question, in their short history. 4 goals for the SeaWolves.
Deservedly so. They're up 4-1, and a much better team the first quarter.
Yeah.
Much better team.
Yep, outplayed Florida just about every aspect, no question about it. And so the Tropics will see if they can regroup and get back on the board with some goals of their own in the second quarter. We'll be back in just a minute with the second quarter. It's the SeaWolves 4 and the Florida Tropics 1 as we take a look at the goal by Gerson and then the power play marker by Lewis Neal. Back to the RP Funding Center in just a moment.
Vest is so strong, it can stop a speeding bullet. And this biaxial braid fabric is so strong, we decided to build a hose out of it. And here it is, the brand new Pocket Hose Brass Bullet. So incredibly strong, it can stop these trucks dead in their tracks. Just turn on the water and watch the brass bullet inflate and expand to a full-size super hose. Then when you're done, turn off the water and it shrinks back down to a lightweight pocket hose. This new brass bullet hose will never tangle or kink. Never! Get the incredible 25-foot Pocket Hose Brass Bullet today for only $19.99. And you'll also get the Turbo Shot Jet Nozzle free. Order now, and you can double your order. Just pay a separate fee. Toss the old hoses away and grab a brass bullet hose today.
Call 1-800-355-7430 to get your brass bullet hose. Call or visit brassbullethose.com. So call 1-800-355-7430. Order now.
Have you been denied credit or hit with high interest rates? A low credit score happens to many of us, especially if you've struggled with medical bills, divorce, student loans, job loss, and more. And millions of people are victims of incorrect items on their credit reports and don't even know it. This leads to a lower credit score. That's why you need Credit Repair now. We'll communicate with your creditors and the credit bureaus to address unfairly reported items, late payments, collections, charge-offs, and even bankruptcies. And that can lead to a higher credit score. Our proven process has resulted in past clients seeing on average 11 negative items removed from their credit report and a 40-point increase after the first 4 months in our program. Start working on your credit today. Call now to start repairing your credit score so that you can work toward getting the things you want, like a new car, new home, an education, or new job. Plus, call now and request your credit report and credit score for free in minutes.
Call 1-800-776-1642. That's 1-800-776-1642.
Well, the Orlando SeaWolves started the scoring just 39 seconds into the game, and they never stopped in the first quarter, ending up with a 4-1 lead. It was Victor France who actually got that goal just 39-second mark of the first. Gordy Gerson made it 2-0. DeSantos with his power play goal cut it to 2-1, but the SeaWolves continued to pour it on. Thiago Freitas at 11:56, and at 13:22 with 1:49 to go in the first quarter, the power play marker by Osvaldo Rojas, giving Rojas 4 goals now against the Tropics in just 2 games, had the hat trick in that first meeting. So let's see what kind of fire Clay Roberts might be able to light under his troops after the 3-minute break. Yep, not the way the Tropics envision things playing out here tonight. Arico will pick it up. Gerson with a long challenge.
He almost chipped him.
Yeah, he did. Good idea by Gerson, but off the mark. Intercept by France. Now Flute will step up, and it goes out of play. It'll be a kick in for the SeaWolves. As we mentioned, no Victor Pereiras tonight for the Tropics. No Lucas Teixeira, who is one of their better defenders. He is still sidelined. No Enzo Marangoni. All three very possibly could play next Saturday when the Milwaukee Wave visit. Long ball into the Florida end of the field. Manolaris on a challenge, and he will come out of there with the ball. Over to Mugin. Mugin back to Manolaris. Manolaris across to Laidley. Couldn't control it, and a good potential opportunity goes by the boards as Dwayne unable to settle that pass. Down to Laidley again in the corner, and it'll roll through the House. And he will outlet. All this going to track it down, and Freitas was in the neighborhood, but
another nice crowd tonight, Brian.
Yep.
Thank you to our sponsor from Lakeland Electric.
Yep.
Passing out the Magic Glow Sticks tonight.
Yep, they looked really nice during the pregame introductions with the lights out and the glow sticks all waving. Thanks to Lakeland Electric. They've got their mascot here tonight, Watson. So nice to see him right below us here.
That used to be my favorite promotion when I was in Rochester. It used to be our annual mascot game.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorites was always Sydney the Kidney.
Oh, there. I always used to like the Perry ice cream cone.
I like the ice cream.
Yeah, there you go. Diegas tried a little back heel to Alvis, but never got through. Here is Mendoza ahead of the field, taken down by Guillerme, no foul. Mendoza a little frustrated. Long ball ahead to Diegas, tried to get it to Arico in the middle of the field, a whistle and a foul, and this one will be against Sandoval. One of the things the Tropics have to do that they, with some of their offensive firepower, either not at 100% or still missing, is you just got to work hard to create scoring opportunities. You got to run. Like basketball, the hard work gets done away from the ball. You create scoring opportunities for yourselves in basketball by making runs off the ball and putting yourself in position to do that. And the Tropics need to think about that. And the other thing is to play in space a little bit when they get the opportunity. Create moments where perhaps you put some pressure on that Orlando defense by advancing the ball and using some of your own 1v1 skills. Freddie with it, gets it back to Guillerme. Guillerme with a long shot, misses far post. JP Reyes there. Reyes trying to get around a defender, still has it, and a whistle, and a second to be against JP, I guess. Yep.
You know, all teams have injuries, Brian. You know,
absolutely.
You got to fight through it. Nobody's going to sit and say, "Oh, poor guys, you know, they have injuries." It's the old philosophy: next man up.
Gerson with a header off to Alvarez. Silva comes out on a good challenge.
Well,
and there's a takedown of Reyes.
How does that guy get that wide open? You know, essentially he had a breakaway. Look.
Yeah, and just could not quite control it, and Silva did finally get a big paw on it to break up the opportunity. Reyes will have it bounce over the boards. Bad break there for Florida. But that is similar to what we saw in the first matchup between these two. Orlando certainly had guys behind the Florida defense that night to create chances. They just did not convert. Here's Drew Goff, maybe his first shift. Gets it to Gerson. Gerson misfired, and they don't see him do that very often.
No.
Here's a chance far post again. Another Orlando player wide open. That was Victor France. France with a shove on Monaleras. Gets it to Silva. Toulouse will try and lay it off, and again, Orlando with pressure and a possession. Reyes will come out of there with it now for the Tropics. Tropics, though, on a line change, and so no real chance to push it up the floor. Now Silva will thread the needle to JP, who had lots of space, but elected to pass it to Freddie deep in the zone. Here's Alvis with a shot. He hits the near post. But that's a good example right there of an opportunity perhaps for a Tropics player with a lot of space in front of him. Could have created a 3-on-2 and instead made the long outlet pass instead of taking it up the field himself. Part of the reason for that was Reyes needed a line change, as we see the big shot just playing off the short side post. House might have got a little piece of it, but it was mostly off the woodwork. Here's Ruiz with it. Taps it ahead to Diegas. But again, couldn't get it through to Laidley. Then a long shot by Ricardo. Never got through. Not really his game. Laidley with pressure. And it's into the Florida end of the field. 3-line violation against the
Every pass
SeaWolves.
seems to be like a fraction off, or I mean, it's just
yeah, the timing just
the timing is just not there.
Berche, he's got the big left foot. Orlando will put 3 at the top of the wall. Here's a chance down low, and Diegas can't get it. Diegas in front, shot and a goal! Ricardo Diegas able to collect a loose ball in front. He bangs it back by House, and it's 4-2.
I dare say that was one of the easier goals that Ricardo will ever score.
Some good work by Laidley there to keep it alive. Got it in front, and Diegas unmarked, able to slot it right by House, who got there just a little bit late, but certainly had no chance. So
well, let's see what we can do from here on in, Brian. You know, we cut it to a couple goals last time, and then Orlando came right back to Got a 3-goal lead. Hopefully we can keep up the pressure this time.
Our thanks, by the way, also to Regal Auto for hosting Tropics Weekly this week. Here's a steal by Toulouse, but it goes over the end boards and out of play, so that chance was missed. Regal Auto right there on Bartow Road near the Tropics offices. Regal Lakelands has a huge selection of new Hondas, Acuras, GMCs, Kias, and Chevrolets, or the best pre-owned inventory anywhere. Go online to learn more at regallakeland.com or stop by one of their dealerships on Bartow Road or their other spot there in Lakeland Hills Boulevard. They'll be having a big open house this coming weekend with the debut of the 2019 Chevy Silverado, which brought the club out. Here's Mugin with a chance. Arico to try and keep it alive to Guillerme. Guillerme with an opportunity, tried to get through a couple of Orlando defenders and couldn't quite do it.
One too many dribbles there.
He's got tremendous 1v1 skills and almost pulled off a beauty there. Silva will come out, play it down for Mugin, being watched by Schmerman. Mugin with it. Mugin off the boards in front. Arico making a run, but good defensive play there by Freitas. Thiago with it. Gets it over to Rojas. Rojas with some pressure by Ruiz. Thiago with it again at the yellow line now. Down low. Rojas back in front. Gerson misses. And you don't see that very often. Gordy's missed a couple of really, really good chances here tonight. And you can see that smile on his face. That's not a happy smile. That's a frustration smile.
I think you said it right last time, Brian. He's the sort of person, sort of player that you hate to play against, but you love to have him on your team.
Here's a chance by Dieguez, and House comes up with a big save. He found a way to get behind the Orlando defense that time. There's Fernando Machado taking his first ever shift in the MASL. He's got the ball now, being watched by Bowden. Machado will play it in for Dieguez, just does stay in play. Machado, one of those younger players needing to step up. Here's a steal. Here's Dieguez. Dieguez back to Guillerme. Guillerme with a chance. Off the board, short side, and couldn't get it through. Alvis with a long opportunity, and Gerson on the line. And I don't know if that was ticketed for the far post or not, but Gerson makes a good defensive play.
See, the Tropics have picked it up a little bit here. Second period, Brian. Hopefully we can keep this up.
And a good restart opportunity here at the top of the arc. Dieguez will go low. Max Toulouse out there. Mugin, Monaleris, and of course Guillerme. Monaleris will be the trigger man here. And he will call a timeout.
There's my favorite play in soccer.
That's like icing the kicker in field in the NFL, right?
It worked at Chicago last week.
It did. You're right. Are you in search of a new career? Let Staff Builders HR help you. We have a huge variety of positions from office staff to welders. We place great people with great companies. Log on to staffbuildershr.com. So let's see if the Tropics will be able to convert here. Not quite as busy a night in the league tonight as it was last night, but they are underway in Harrisburg tonight, although there was a game this afternoon. The Wave beat the Ambush by a 7-1 final. The Blast with a 6-4 lead over the Heat in the fourth quarter. That's an Eastern Conference, Eastern Division matchup. And later tonight, a good matchup out west. The Tacoma Stars and Ontario Fury will do battle. So
yeah, I don't think you'll see Milwaukee losing 2 games in a row too often this year.
No, not very often at all. So, but as we said, they're still a little short-handed with Lemos, their starting goaltender, and their leading scorer, Ian Bennett, out of the lineup. We don't know what the status will be for those 2 players next weekend when they come a-calling here at the RP Funding Center for their second and last appearance of the season in Florida. Would like to think you never want to wish ill on anybody, but, you know, if you're a Tropics fan, if they have to miss one more game, well, then that's okay. But we'll see.
Too bad that there aren't any visa issues down here.
Yeah, right? See if we can get Ron DeSantis maybe to work on that for us. So Toulouse will step over. Here's Monaleris. He'll step over. Guillerme with it. Guillerme and gets it down back. A rebound in front, and that's knocked out. It looked like a handball, maybe against Sandoval. No call.
Okay, well.
I don't know if it was Sandoval. House got a piece of it too, and it might have been House that actually got his hand on it. We'll take a look at the replay here.
Oh, yeah, clear handball.
Yeah. Well, it was House got a hand on it, and then it may have deflected off Schmerman as well.
Well, we didn't argue too much, so I don't know.
No, we did not. It was definitely House that got it first, but then it looked like it may have deflected off Schmerman as well. But no call and no big argument, as you said, from the Tropics. And normally, if they think there's a handball, you'll see everybody. Here's pressure by Guillerme now. Guillerme.
Nice ball.
Oh, tried to get it to Freddie on the run and couldn't do it. Here's Guillerme late. Good play by Toulouse to leave it for Guillerme, but that was blocked.
Okay, watch out, this guy breaking on the right.
Yep, this is Mendoza. Mendoza with a shot, misses short side. Good play by Silva to come out and cut down the angle there. Step up by Neal to keep the ball in the Florida end of the field. Banged out of there by Guillerme to Mugin. Mugin to Monaleras. Gets it into space now to J.P. Reyes. Again, J.P. had a lot of space, but he needed to get to the bench on a line change. Here's Alves. Pressure on Silva. He gets it back out to the midfield line. It's Rojas still down there who had the pressure, and Silva comes out, bangs with Rojas, and a goal.
Oh, my God.
Well, again, the Tropics just getting a little bit outworked, and Rafael Alves and Hugo Silva really frustrated with each other on that one. But
I was going to make a comment, Brian, that I'll save it for after the commercial.
Yeah, that's one that the Tropics would like to have back for sure, but Orlando again with an answer. So the Tropics, after getting that second goal, looked like they had the momentum picked up. There's Rojas in the corner. Alves comes in a little bit late, and it's in the net. 5-2, Orlando, back in a moment. Back underway here at the RP Funding Center after that fifth goal by the SeaWolves. Still lots of time here in the second quarter, and the Tropics had definitely picked up their play after that second goal, but a little maybe miscommunication between Silva and Alves, and Rojas gets his second of the game. Now 5 in 2 games against Florida. Mugin trying to work in the corner. Alves keeps it alive to Ruiz. Back over to Berche. Tropics will change here. Arico comes out. So does Monaleras. Monaleras tried to get it to Guillerme on the near boards and intercepted by the SeaWolves. Guillerme still working. Monaleras in there as well. Monaleras almost got it in front of Mugin, but House came out to make a good play. It'll be a corner kick, I believe, here, or a restart from deep in the corner, if not a corner kick for the Tropics. So again, a set piece opportunity.
I was going to say, Brian, before commercial, that Hugo de Silva's distribution this year has been phenomenal. I think a tremendous upgrade. But tonight, I mean, again, he's made a couple of snafus, which just proves that he is human.
Here's Guillerme with the extra touch, a shot that goes wide. Trying to go far post. Tropics really didn't have anybody parked there. Guillerme with a nice play to keep it alive to Berche, who uses the boards to get it to Arico and then head to the bench. Monaleras watched by a couple of SeaWolves defenders. They are bringing pressure pretty much all over the floor here so far tonight. Monaleras with it. A little miscommunication with Laidley. And here's a chance now for Orlando, although they don't have numbers. And a whistle and a blue card coming up against Dwayne Laidley. He took down Thiago Freitas. So Orlando will get another power play opportunity as Freitas is taken down. Machado was out there and Laidley overran it
Good call.
I don't think that was the call, though. I think it was Laidley that they're going to call. I'm sorry.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, it was Laidley, yeah. No question about it. So Orlando with another power play opportunity. They already have a power play goal tonight. Second one that the Tropics have given up all season. Victor France out there on the power play, back in the SeaWolves lineup for the first time this season. Scored just 39 seconds into the game. Set the tone early. France with it at the yellow line. Down low, shot and a goal. Yeah, same
exact same thing.
Yep.
I think we would have learned our lesson the first time.
Well, the defense creeps out high, and they find the guy down deep in the corner, and this time it was Lewis Neal, and Orlando leads at 6-2. But, yeah, a carbon copy of their first power play goal, no question.
Yeah, keep doing it. Hey, you're going to let your keeper out to dry like that. I mean, it's what a difference a couple of weeks make, Brian.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Obviously, Orlando used their time pretty well. And Tom Traxler, certainly a much happier man at this point of the second quarter tonight than he was here on December 29th when Florida was on their way to building a 5-0 lead. But we mentioned it a couple of times. Florida was not as bad as the score would indicate that night.
Orlando wasn't as bad.
Orlando, thank you. And tonight they are proving it on the scoreboard. Here's Mugin with a chance. Mugin's shot misses short side. Ruiz with the rebound, can't get much on it. Good opportunity for Freddie there. Ruiz with a steal. Long shot, he misses just short side again.
And I don't think that Florida's as bad as they're playing tonight, to be honest with you. But
they've had a better quarter, there's no question. But here's the save. That's a great save by House. He just got a piece of it. Saw it at the last second and threw out the left hand to make a nice save. So he too part of the improved overall effort by the SeaWolves here this evening. Alvis back with it. Alvis challenged by Rojas. J.P. Reyes will get it ahead to Laidley now. So 2 power play goals tonight for Orlando. The Tropics had only given up 1 all season coming in.
And it's taken them all about 20 seconds to score 2 power play goals.
Long ball into Mugin. Toulouse will pick it up. Max lays it off to Laidley. Laidley gets it over to J.P. Reyes. Sends it in front looking for Mugin. Freddie will try and keep it alive. Banged out of there by the SeaWolves right to Alvis. So Tropics will restart. Yeah, it's been a better quarter for the Tropics here, no question.
Well, it couldn't have been much worse.
The scoreboard
although
not reflecting it.
No.
But the power play has been a strong spot, or the penalty kill, if you will, has been a strong spot. Not tonight.
Log on to myrocketparty.com or just go see them in front of the building each week to discuss your next event. Tropics fans,
Mugin will put it in play here. Lifts it across to try and find Berche, but never got through. Good defense there by Eduardo Cruz to break up that restart opportunity. Guilherme with it. Guilherme with one of the 2 Florida goals here tonight. Berche. All the way back to Silva. Tropics will change here as Monolaris goes off and Alvis comes back on. Silva looking for Ricardo Dieguez. Taken off his foot. And then a steal by Berche. Down to Guilherme. Guilherme in front, just went through the goal crease and wide. Tropics with a good possession time here and creating some chances. Guilherme, still 2 minutes to go in the half. Back out to Berche. He may let it fly. He does, and it's blocked by Rojas. Pressure by Toulouse. Dieguez takes it away. Here's a chance in front. Guilherme shot. Goal! Nice work by Ricardo Dieguez and Max Toulouse to keep that play alive. And Guilherme picks up his second of the night, and it's 6-3.
Well, once again, you know, you got a point-blank shot, and he's not going to miss too many of those.
No. 11 on the year now for Guilherme. Played 17 games, all on defense last year for the Tropics. Scored once. So that is perhaps a momentum builder for the Tropics if they can
if we wanted
keep
to have
Orlando off the board.
Any chance second half, I mean, we needed something like that to happen. So hopefully we'll see what transpires here.
Ovation Bistro and Bar is the best smokehouse in Central Florida with amazing food and $8.99 daily lunch specials at all 3 locations in Winter Haven, Davenport, and now right here in Lakeland. Ovation Bistro and Bar's food speaks for itself. Ovation Bistro and Bar, where doing the extraordinary is ordinary.
Ladies and gentlemen, we remind you to please refrain from tossing any objects onto the field. Thank you.
Bowden with it, being watched by Alvis, and he'll reset it back to Sandoval now. Pressure by Laidley. House will feed it into the Florida end of the field. Gerson and J.P. Reyes there, and J.P. one veteran against the other, and J.P. comes out of there with it. Gets it ahead to Laidley, can't get through Sandoval, but no whistle. Again, pressure. Alvis trying to step up on Gerson and whistle in a foul against Alvis.
Every day tune into Max 98.3 for all your traffic information and the best hit music all day long. For contests and much more, visit max983fm.com. Max 98.3.
They're actually going to call the foul back here, contact against Silva, so the ball will be put in play just outside the Orlando yellow line. Long ball down into Bowden, trying to use that 6'2" frame of his. Laidley ahead to Freddie, but Edwin Rojas, no relation to the goal-scoring machine Osvaldo Rojas, knocks it out of play. Still time for the Tropics to mount an attack here.
35 seconds left in the half.
Salute will be watched by Gerson, back to Silva. Silva will drive it into the Orlando zone. Monaleros gets it to Freddie, who tried to be creative there. He had a very creative backheel goal here on the 29th right before intermission. Silva, and he will knock it out to midfield where Rojas picks it up to Bowden. One last attack here for the SeaWolves. Long shot, and that's knocked out of play by Guilherme, so it'll be a corner kick for Orlando with 4.5 seconds to go. So a very dangerous moment here for the Tropics as they try and keep it a 6-3 deficit going to the intermission. And Orlando will call a timeout to talk over their strategy here with just seconds remaining. Guardian Wealth Management realizes all the financial challenges that people face, whether it be managing debt or saving for college. Our mission is to help every single client meet their individual financial needs. For personal service, innovative ideas, and practical advice, go to guardianwealth.net. So it's been a wild and woolly one here tonight in Lakeland. It was 4-1 after the first quarter. Ricardo Dieguez made it 4-2, but then Orlando with a couple of power play goals, Rojas and Lewis Neal. And then the finish by Guilherme, his second of the game, to make it 6-3. That's where we stand here, but Orlando going to get one more very good chance as Clay Roberts sets the defense for this restart, this corner kick to the right of Hugo Silva. Clay Roberts, the only coach the Tropics have known in his third season. Former standout player in the Major Indoor Soccer League with the Philadelphia Kicks. Was actually drafted by Orlando in the MISL expansion draft for the Sharks, and for a lot of professional and personal reasons did not report, and ended up re-signing with the Kicks for a couple of more years after that. So
this would be absolutely devastating if they had a goal here right now.
Orlando on the restart tried to get it through to Rojas. Chance in front is knocked out of there by the Orlando defense, or rather the Florida defense, and the SeaWolves not able to really mount a serious threat there in the final seconds despite the set piece opportunity. So the Tropics get one back late, but they still have a lot of work to do. They will be chasing 3 when we start the second half with some encouragement from J.P. Reyes to Hugo Silva, who, unusual to see Hugo let up 6 and a half. Certainly didn't get a lot of help from his defense, but J.P. Reyes, the veteran leader that he is, with a slap on the back, and I'm sure a few words to make sure Hugo keeps his head up, because there is lots and lots of soccer still to play here at the RP Funding Center tonight. 30 minutes in the books as Tom Traxler heads off with a thumbs up, and why not? When he left this field a couple of weeks ago, his team was down 5-0. Different story tonight. The script has been flipped, and it is the SeaWolves 6 and the Florida Tropics 3. We'll be back with more highlights and talk more about the game tonight.
This bulletproof vest is so strong, it could stop a speeding bullet. And this biaxial braid fabric is so strong, we decided to build a hose out of it. And here it is, the brand new Pocket Hose Brass Bullet. So incredibly strong, it can stop these trucks dead in their tracks. Just turn on the water and watch the brass bullet inflate and expand to a full-size super hose. Then when you're done, turn off the water and it shrinks back down to a lightweight pocket hose. This new brass bullet hose will never tangle or kink. Never! Get the incredible 25-foot Pocket Hose Brass Bullet today for only $19.99. And you'll also get the Turbo Shot Jet Nozzle free. Order now and you can double your order. Just pay a separate fee. Toss the old hoses away and grab a brass bullet hose today.
Call 1-800-355-7430 to get your brass bullet hose. Call or visit brassbullethose.com. So call 1-800-355-7430. Order now.
Have you been denied credit or hit with high interest rates? A low credit score happens to many of us, especially if you've struggled with medical bills, divorce, student loans, job loss, and more. And millions of people are victims of incorrect items on their credit reports and don't even know it. This leads to a lower credit score. That's why you need Credit Repair now. We'll communicate with your creditors and the credit bureaus to address unfairly reported items, late payments, collections, charge-offs, and even bankruptcies. And that can lead to a higher credit score. Our proven process has resulted in past clients seeing on average 11 negative items removed from their credit report and a 40-point increase after the first 4 months in our program. Start working on your credit today. Call now to start repairing your credit score so that you can work toward getting the things you want, like a new car, new home, an education, or new job. Plus, call now and request your credit report and credit score for free in minutes.
Call 1-800-776-1642. That's 1-800-776-1642.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
A very different story tonight, as we said, from what we saw here a couple of weeks ago, but tons of soccer left to go and lots of goals probably still to come, so don't go away. The goals came early and often in the first 30 minutes, started by the Orlando SeaWolves' Victor France, who is dressed tonight for the first time all season. Giveaway by Silva there, and for a minute it looked like the Tropics would get away with it, but France with the little extra touch, and he roofs it over Hugo Silva for a 1-0 lead just 39 seconds into the first period. It was Gordy Gerson then putting Orlando up 2-0, and that came just about 3 minutes in. Again, wide open at the top of the box with a couple of Tropics defenders caught on the near boards, and Gordy Gerson, who came in with 135 career goals in something like 85 games, gave Orlando a 2-0 lead. And then you can see the next Orlando goal there as Thiago Freitas found Rojas down low for the power play marker, one of 2 power play goals that the SeaWolves scored. It was actually Lewis Neal, although on the score sheet they've credited it to Rojas. Then House gets beat by Ricardo Dieguez to make it a 4-2 game at that point in the second period, but Rojas, a little miscommunication here between Silva and Alves, able to bang it into the open net to make it a 5-2 game. The SeaWolves then made it 6-2 as, again, Lewis Neal down low, carbon copy of that first power play goal, made it 6-2, but a big goal late. Good play by Dieguez to keep the ball alive, and the goal by Guilherme. Back with more in a moment.
The fabric in this bulletproof vest is so strong, it can stop a speeding bullet. And this biaxial braid fabric is so strong, we decided to build a hose out of it. And here it is, the brand new Pocket Hose Brass Bullet. So incredibly strong, it can stop these trucks dead in their tracks. Just turn on the water and watch the brass bullet inflate and expand to a full-size super hose. Then when you're done, turn off the water and it shrinks back down to a lightweight pocket hose. This new brass bullet hose will never tangle or kink. Never! Get the incredible 25-foot Pocket Hose Brass Bullet today for only $19.99. And you'll also get the Turbo Shot Jet Nozzle free. Order now, and you can double your order. Just pay a separate fee. Toss the old hoses away and grab a brass bullet hose today.
Call 1-800-355-7430 to get your brass bullet hose. Call or visit brassbullethose.com. So call 1-800-355-7430. Order now.
Have you been denied credit or hit with high interest rates? A low credit score happens to many of us, especially if you've struggled with medical bills, divorce, student loans, job loss, and more. And millions of people are victims of incorrect items on their credit reports and don't even know it. This leads to a lower credit score. That's why you need Credit Repair now. We'll communicate with your creditors and the credit bureaus to address unfairly reported items, late payments, collections, charge-offs, and even bankruptcies. And that can lead to a higher credit score. Our proven process has resulted in past clients seeing on average 11 negative items removed from their credit report and a 40-point increase after the first 4 months in our program. Start working on your credit today. Call now to start repairing your credit score so that you can work toward getting the things you want, like a new car, new home, an education, or new job. Plus, call now and request your credit report and credit score for free in minutes.
Call 1-800-776-1642. That's 1-800-776-1642.
Back here in Lakeland, Orlando leading the Tropics 6-3. Not the only game in the MASL tonight, as we've got one final and one still to go. Actually, a couple of finals. One from this afternoon, Milwaukee recovering from their first loss of the season last night with an easy 7-1 win over St. Louis this afternoon in Milwaukee. The Wave will be here in Lakeland next Saturday. And the Baltimore Blast over the Harrisburg Heat by a 9-4 final. That was a pretty good game going into the fourth quarter. The Blast scoring 4 unanswered in the final 15 minutes to beat Harrisburg 9-4. The Heat teasing the MASL this weekend, promising a major announcement on Monday, so we'll see what that's all about. Pat Healy, of course, in his first year behind the bench for the Heat. And then one game out west, and it's a very good matchup in the Pacific Division. The Tacoma Stars will take on the Ontario Fury, and that is a 10:05 start. We'll see what the Tropics have in store. They need to chase 3 in the final 30 minutes. It's Orlando 6, Florida 3. Back in a moment.
The fabric in this bulletproof vest is so strong, it could stop a speeding bullet. And this biaxial braid fabric is so strong, we decided to build a hose out of it. And here it is, the brand new Pocket Hose Brass Bullet. So incredibly strong, it can stop these trucks dead in their tracks. Just turn on the water and watch the brass bullet inflate and expand to a full-size super hose. Then when you're done, turn off the water and it shrinks back down to a lightweight pocket hose. This new brass bullet hose will never tangle or kink. Never! Get the incredible 25-foot Pocket Hose Brass Bullet today for only $19.99. And you'll also get the Turbo Shot Jet Nozzle free. Order now, and you can double your order. Just pay a separate fee. Toss the old hoses away and grab a brass bullet hose today.
Call 1-800-355-7430 to get your brass bullet hose. Call or visit brassbullethose.com. So call 1-800-355-7430. Order now.
Have you been denied credit or hit with high interest rates? A low credit score happens to many of us, especially if you've struggled with medical bills, divorce, student loans, job loss, and more. And millions of people are victims of incorrect items on their credit reports and don't even know it. This leads to a lower credit score. That's why you need credit repair now. We'll communicate with your creditors and the credit bureaus to address unfairly reported items, late payments, collections, charge-offs, and even bankruptcies. And that can lead to a higher credit score. Our proven process has resulted in past clients seeing on average 11 negative items removed from their credit report and a 40-point increase after the first 4 months in our program. Start working on your credit today. Call now to start repairing your credit score so that you can work toward getting the things you want, like a new car, new home, an education, or new job. Plus, call now and request your credit report and credit score for free in minutes.
Call 1-800-776-1642. That's 1-800-776-1642.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Always fun to see the youth here on the pitch at the RP Funding Center. The Tropics soccer umbrella stretching all up and down the I-4 corridor with youth programs here in Lakeland and Celebration and Pinellas County. So always good to have the kids here as we take a look at our halftime stats. Shots on goal, the Tropics actually out shooting the SeaWolves 15-13. As we said, the Tropics actually stepped up their pressure and play in that second quarter. Hugo Silva with 7 saves, Heiner House with 5. The Tropics 8 fouls in total, just 2 for Orlando. Each club has had 2 power play opportunities. The SeaWolves have cashed in on both after the Tropics came in allowing just 1 power play goal in 7 games. As we mentioned, Victor France got things going early. Gordy Gerson made it 2-0 before Guilherme got the first of his 2 on a shot that actually rebounded off the back of Heiner House into the net. Tiago with 3:01 to go in the quarter made it 3-1, and then the first of the two Lewis Neal power play goals left us at 4-1 heading into the second 15 minutes. Ricardo Dieguez scoring just a little less than 5 minutes in to make it 4-2. Then Rojas and Neal with back-to-back efforts. The Neal goal, his second of the game, and a carbon copy of the first power play, and also a power play goal. And maybe a big one. We're hoping a big one for Guilherme dos Santos, as he got one in the final 2 minutes to make it 6-3. Teams are back on the floor. We'll be back with more in just a moment of MASL Soccer. Few last-minute words of encouragement and advice from Clay Roberts to his Tropics troops. Down 6-3 as we get ready for the final 30 minutes. I want to thank Suncoast Credit Union for their support of local youth as well. We saw some of the players on the floor. Suncoast sponsoring the Tropics Goal program this year, which rewards local school children with free tickets to Tropics games for reading incentives and good grades. Suncoast Credit Union now has 2 locations in Polk County. Our pledge is to help save you money for special member benefits, and more information on becoming a Suncoast Credit Union member. Check us out at suncoastcreditunion.com. Your fantastic future starts here. Well, the Tropics need a fantastic 30 minutes. That's all they're worried about in terms of the future right now, as Orlando scored just 39 seconds in and really never let up. But we'll see if that late goal by Guilherme will provide some of that momentum that the Tropics, a couple of times in that second quarter, Chris, seemed to start building, and then Orlando would just snatch it away.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we pulled within a couple goals a couple times, Brian, and you know, that couple of backbreakers there, but we'll see what we're made of here in this third and fourth quarter here. And we talked about the Tropics having the old bugaboo about giving up huge leads. Let's see if it works in reverse tonight.
Yeah, maybe. Whatever it takes. Tropics will get a restart from the yellow line here.
Unfortunately, it's happening in front of the biggest crowd of the season tonight. A great crowd tonight. Again, thanks to Lakeland Electric. Hopefully we can give the fans something to cheer about here.
Actually, this will be a restart from the top of the arc, not the yellow line. So, great chance here just a couple of seconds in for Florida to set the tone like Orlando did early in the first quarter. Here's Monaleris off the Guilherme shot. Oh, it hits the inside of the post and out. My goodness. Couldn't have struck it any better.
Sometimes if it ain't meant to be, it just ain't meant to be. And that was, you couldn't have placed it any better.
I mean, that hit the inside of the woodwork and then caromed out instead of in. Gerson with it, being watched by Alvis. Alvis and Gerson, good play by Alvis there. Gets it up to Guilherme, who's got some space. Guilherme will take advantage.
Got numbers here if he hurries.
Guilherme gets it across to Dieguez. It's kind of a caught in between a shot and a pass, and Dieguez wasn't able to control it.
He had it on his right foot, again, which is not his
dominant foot.
Not his dominant foot, and the pass went a little bit awry.
Ruiz with it. Check that. That's Machado out there, and he's taken down. Fernando, an NAIA star at Oklahoma Wesleyan. Here's that shot by Guilherme, and my goodness, just missed by a couple of inches. He is such a strong finisher. House had no chance, and sometimes they bang in and sometimes they bang out, and that one banged out. He's had a couple that have banged in this year. The soccer guard's not owing him anything in that regard. Dieguez tried the header on the inlet ball but couldn't get there. Here's a quick throw down the field to Tiago, but good recovery by Monaleris. Up to Toulouse. Tulute. Oh, nice little move there to create an opportunity. 3-on-2 if he hurries, but good recovery by Mendoza.
Nice tracking back by Mendoza there. Cut off a 3-on-2.
Looked for a second there like Tulute was going to be able to create the numbers up opportunity. Here's Tulute on the far boards. About 5 of them over there in a scrum now, and Tulute will be called for the takedown on Mendoza.
See, that's what Orlando's doing tonight differently, Brian. They're winning the little battles along the boards. They're coming up with the 50-50 balls. There's 2 Orlando players in there and 3 Tropics players, and the Orlando guy came out with the ball.
Yep, good point. Silva with the distribution out to Monaleros. Lucas being challenged by Rojas. Want to correct do a little housekeeping on the stat sheet. Rojas only actually has 1 goal they have on the official summary at halftime, him scoring a 2nd goal, but both of those power play goals by Orlando were off the foot of Lewis Neal as Guilherme was taken down. A foul, but no blue card. So it's Neal that has 2, Rojas just 1. They all count. Here's the ball ahead to Mendoza.
We got numbers here.
2-on-1. Shot off the near boards.
He played the angle very, very well there.
Yep. It was Ruiz who got back to help out.
Oh, my goodness.
Another
oh, my goodness. Not again.
Still a chance. Shot blocked in there by Ruiz, and we have a blue card coming up against
the Tropics.
Yeah. It was a delayed penalty because Orlando had possession.
Has not been Hugo's best night tonight.
No, has not.
Well, like I said, I think he's been our team MVP so far through 8 games. So.
No question. Yep, no question. So Orlando will get a 3rd power play opportunity. They're 2 for 2 tonight. And Lewis Neal will be out there.
Let's see if we figured out that one play where they scored in the first 5 seconds, Brian.
And they're going to call Silva for the penalty. He will not have to serve it, but Joanne Laidley will.
Is it a PK?
Pardon?
Is it a PK?
Oh, I guess they are going to call a penalty kick. So Gerson will get the scoring chance here. Yeah, they're going to call the trip. Yeah, no question. He hooked the foot of Osvaldo Rojas. Here's Gerson. Saved by Silva. Rebound shot, and it goes wide. Maybe there's the spark the Tropics need. Silva denies Gordy Gerson on the penalty kick, and you don't see that almost ever.
What a save. Well, if that doesn't get you inspired, nothing will.
Well, it got Max Toulouse inspired. He was throwing his hands in the air. Boy, just a tremendous effort. We just got done saying that it hasn't been Silva's best night, but he maybe just had his best moment of the season right there.
Incredible save, incredible save. Like I said, you hardly ever see those miss.
Here's a down low again as Gerson gets in behind the Orlando defense.
Florida defense.
The Florida defense. And it's just remarkable how often that they have been able to get open down low, and part of that is they're finding the passing lanes to get it there. It's good efforts by the guys on top to find those guys down low. The Tropics play a diamond.
I was going to say it's like a 1-2-1.
Yeah, exactly. So it does allow opportunities down low, but you've got to deny the pass up top there. Here's a chance. Good recovery by Monaleros to make the block. Still 48 seconds to go in the power play. Frietas, and he will miss high and wide, and that will give the Tropics goal kick here. Here's another look, Chris, at that effort by Hugo Silva.
Just a tremendous. I mean, he just let that thing go. I mean, they had to be going 100 miles an hour. And then, even a follow-up. What a great save by Hugo Silva.
He actually started to his left, and that may have enticed Gerson to try and go to Silva's right, but you could see Hugo just at the last second change his course. And
very similar to the outdoor game there, Brian. You just got to choose the direction you're going, and then hope and pray for the best. And he guessed right that time. And the only difference is that's only from like what is it, like 5-6 yards out?
Yeah, a guessing game for sure. So still a half minute to go in the power play. Here's Thiago with it. Thiago blocked in there. Guilherme has it, and he will send it back into the Orlando zone. House will come out to the midfield area to play it ahead to Freitas. One last chance for Orlando, 10 seconds in the man advantage. Freitas being challenged by Toulouse. Rico steps up.
Nice play.
Good play
they got
by
numbers.
Toulouse. Yeah, they could have.
Could have had numbers. He's coming out of the penalty box,
yeah,
too.
Laidley's still in the box, having a little trouble getting out of the box. Now finally does.
Well, if there's anything that can change momentum, the sequence that just happened will.
Maybe. That's exactly the kind of play that the Tropics needed to
wake us up.
Wake us up is right. Orlando will get a restart inside the yellow line here. Laidley will play it to
you got numbers
JP.
here if you hurry.
Ahead to...
There's no line change this time.
Nope, across instead to Ricardo, who missed hits. Ricardo still kind of working himself back into game condition and game timing. He played for the first time 2 weeks ago in that game against Orlando. He hurt himself in the middle of the summer during the outdoor season and basically had not played a competitive match for almost a half a year. So Ricardo, his first game back was that win against Orlando.
Good
here.
Ball.
Shot in, good save by Silva. Ruiz with the rebound. Intercept out at the midfield circle by the SeaWolves. This is Rojas. Plays it over to Eduardo Cruz, and now down to Bowden in the corner. He's been a little quiet tonight. Orlando taking the air out of the ball here a little bit, making sure they keep possession. And
very smart on their part. You know, they realized that could have been a big momentum changer, and they're slowing it down. You know, it's a sign of a seasoned team.
As we said, a lot of veterans on this team of the indoor game. 7 Cedar Rapids players on the roster from last year. Alvis steps up, tries to head it up to Laidley. Laidley gets it by Alvarez, but then a good recover by Mario Alvarez to take it away. Bowden lays it off to Mendoza.
Watch the guy in front, was all alone.
That was Alvarez making that run off the ball, but Mendoza couldn't get it to him, and Mendoza needed a line change. Cruz directing a little traffic.
Remember, Cedar Rapids was a playoff team last year.
Yes, they were. They were a good side. Here's Lewis Neal. Over to Richard Schmerman now. And again, the Tropics will chase as the SeaWolves make a line change. Ruiz with some pressure. Alvis steps up, takes it away from Schmerman, tries the chip, and House was able to get back in. Not a bad effort by Alvis, but House had just enough time to get back into the box there. And Rafa didn't quite get it high enough. Intercept by JP to Toulouse.
It's time for us to control the ball here and start to gain some momentum here. It just ain't gonna happen that way.
Give away to Gerson. Gerson with a shot save. Silva. Boy, he has come out big here in the third quarter. Takedown against Rico and a foul. Well, as tough a first half as it was for Silva, and certainly a lot of it not his fault. He has been large and in charge here in the third quarter. Still a 6-3 game thanks to Hugo.
I mean, we talked about the power play goals, Brian. I mean, they were essentially, left wide open from 3 or 4 feet away. Very similar power play goals, and I mean, you can't fault Hugo on those.
Schmerman will do the restart here. Long shot misses far post by a couple of feet. Gerson will track it down.
Be curious to see how many minutes a game Cody Gerson plays.
A lot would be the answer. Yeah, I don't know exactly how many. He's got it again in the corner. And
it's like he seems like he's never off the floor.
Partly the way he plays too. He is not your prototypical goal scorer in that he really gets back and plays a lot of defense too. A lot of the goal scorers in this league are, target forwards that don't necessarily involve themselves in the defense.
That's got to be a card.
Yeah, it's got to be, and it is. As Schmerman got the foot up into the face of Joanne Laidley. No doubt about that one. I think Joanne's okay, but this will give the Tropics a chance on the power play. And Joanne is okay. So it'll be Yoshio Sandoval going to the box. We've got a timeout in the action. We'll see if the Tropics can crank the power play up. They need one. They're chasing 3. It's Orlando 6, the Florida Tropics 3. More MASL soccer in just a moment. So the Tropics will head to the power play here. Tom Traxler, 49-year-old head coach of the Orlando SeaWolves. Long-time soccer figure in Central Florida. Spent 3 or 4 years with the Rowdies organization in Tampa. Last 12 seasons he's been the high school coach at Winter Garden and made that one of the most successful programs in the state.
Well, Brian, are we at must-score time here on the power play yet or not?
Well, probably not, but Guilherme and a goal! So, yeah.
Telling you, it always works. Every time I talk, something happens.
Well, we talked about what a good finisher Guilherme dos Santos is, and again, he just proves the point as he just powers one past Heiner House, and it's 6-4. First goal of the second half.
That's the hat trick, isn't it, Ray?
Yeah, it is. Too much space. If you're the SeaWolves, you just can't give a guy like Guilherme that kind of space. And he took advantage of it with the big left foot shot. So Guilherme now with 12 on the season. And he's closing in on the league lead in goals. I think it's 15. Adrian Perez of Ontario, I believe, has that. We'll double check it for you, but
I'm going to state the obvious here again, Brian. Next goal is huge.
Yeah, the Tropics have slowly but surely been
I wish they would change the score to the scoreboard. Yeah. You know, it's hard enough against these guys.
Have been ramping up the effort since that tough first quarter. JP Reyes challenged in there by Thiago, and he'll come out of there with it. Good play by Monaleras. Hey. Monaleras.
4 on 3
if he can find Freddie. Gets it over to Guilherme. Guilherme over to Freddie. Gives the Orlando SeaWolves a chance to regroup, however. And there's a takedown by JP Reyes. And they're going to call JP on the blue card, no question about it.
You know what's interesting? Chris Penso from across the field called it, and the other referee right here.
Yeah.
Right in front of him, and he didn't call it.
So no, but I think Chris actually had a better view, and you can see the arm. It was like a defensive back wrapping the arm around the waist.
Oh, no, it was definitely a penalty.
Yeah.
It was definitely a penalty.
Yeah.
And again,
because Victor France would have had a...
these things happen at the most inopportune times from a Tropics perspective. I mean, it's...
I think Orlando wanted perhaps a shootout opportunity because there was no defender behind JP when he took France down. So again, Orlando now with a power play opportunity after the Tropics have crept within 2. Sandoval with it. Being watched by Guilherme. Well, the Tropics did get 2 shorthanded goals against Orlando a couple of weeks ago, so perhaps Lightning can strike again. We'll see. It'll take just 1. Don't want to get too greedy.
I'll just take the penalty kill, to be honest with you.
Silva gets it out to Toulouse, and unfortunately, outlet that goes over the boards and out of play. So it'll be a restart chance here. Really a dangerous moment now for Tropics fans because you're already down a man, and Orlando will get a set piece from the top of the arc. So you can only got the 4 defenders out there. Hugo going to take a minute to tie his shoes to let the Tropics make sure they know exactly what they want to do here with only 4 on the floor, and they restarted the top of the arc. Toulouse will be out there with Rico, Monaleris, and Guillerme.
To enjoy specially brewed Tropics beer, down at a small brewery on Pine Street, right here in Lakeland. With over 40 years of
Sandoval with Gerson on top.
one of the many beers, even with your pets. Check out the range of
Neal out there. Thiago for the SeaWolves.
Simply stop by and try them all.
I mean, you almost have to still use a 3-man wall because you can't cover.
Well, that's going to leave somebody open.
Yeah, for sure. Leave a couple people open. That's
yeah.
really the problem. And I guess the Tropics are going to try and get away with just a 2-man
two?
wall, and that's dangerous. But the whole situation is dangerous.
Well, can we dodge
Sandoval
another bullet here?
gets it down low, and
Wow.
they do dodge one there. That is exactly the play they had scored 2 power play goals on earlier in the game, but Victor France that time sent it 3/4 of the way to Indian Lake Estates.
Okay, so I've learned 2 landmarks tonight, Brian.
Indian Lake Estates, lovely area.
Okay, and what was the other one? Boulder Junction?
No,
or-
Bradley Junction. Indian Lake Estates is truly the middle of nowhere, Florida. But a lot of lovely homes out there. It's for the people in Florida that don't want to live on the coast. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Here's Monaleris. Gets it over to Guillerme. It's actually about 15 miles east of Lake Wales, between Lake Wales
There
and the
we go
Kissimmee
again.
River. Here's Victor France. Tries to get it through. Arico with a good play, and
Yeah, come on,
Anthony
Anthony.
Arico. Max open on the far side, but Arico either didn't see him or couldn't get the angle to make the pass. Tried to kill a little time as well.
I'm not going to go through the whole team there, but
Still
a
1-0.
good effort.
Yeah, still 1:04 to go in the power play. Here's Monaleris, and he will get it to Toulouse. Monaleris still with it. He's taken down. I don't think that's a blue card, and it's not. Freitas is the guilty
Hey guys,
party.
killing a penalty. Hold on to the ball. That's it. Oh my God.
Arico with a giveaway, but he gets it back. Taken down by France, and France will be called for obstruction.
53 seconds on the penalty.
Yep. Well, again, a penalty kill would be a momentum builder. As Lewis Neal gets it back to House. 6-4, Orlando with the lead. The Tropics with the only goal here in the 3rd quarter. Guillerme with the hat trick. Sandoval with it outside the yellow line. France down to Neal, gets it across to Sandoval, and he misses badly. So the SeaWolves kind of their own worst enemy here on the power play. 28 seconds to go. Hugo Silva will distribute. He gets 4 seconds to do that, and he throws it the length of the field. Now, the goalkeeper can throw it over all 3 lines. That is not a violation. If it's kicked over all 3 lines by one of the field players or the goalkeeper, then it becomes a violation. But the goalkeeper can still throw it over all 3 lines. Down low to Gerson, shot and a goal. 5-hole for Gordy Gerson. And another power play marker for Orlando.
Well, there's a
3
difference
on
in
the
game.
night.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the difference. 7-4, and 3 of the 7 Orlando goals have come with the man advantage.
Once again, I mean, wide open, down low. You know, he went 5-hole on Hugo there. Not much you could do about that. But he's wide open. You can't give him shots from 5 feet away. No, that's a huge. I mean, again.
Yeah, every time
that's a huge goal.
The Tropics look like they have
mountain to come back
something to build on.
Yeah.
Orlando just pulls the turf out from under.
It was back to the penalty. You know, it was just a bad penalty on J.P. Reyes. Killed the momentum and.
Mugin in the corner. Toulouse and Mendoza collide. Mugin in there with Toulouse. Cleared out to Berche. And he will play it back to Hugo Silva. They were teammates last year in Harrisburg with Thiago as well. Long ball into Freddie Mugin. Mugin reverses the field to Ruiz. Kyle Ruiz with a shot. Nobody making a run in front. Bowden with it. He'll dance out of trouble and gives it off to Cruz. Out of play. It'll be a kick in here for the SeaWolves. Yeah, frustrating night here all the way around from the Tropics. Came out flat, and then you can kind of see the frustration between Silva and some of the defensive players. They've all been responsible, no question.
He should sue for lack of support.
A lot of soccer left to play here, though. Monolaris and Bowden battle in the Florida end of the field. The whistle and the call will go against the former Orlando City Lion, Luke Bowden. Guilherme with it. Bounces over to Ruiz. Monolaris has his pass knocked away briefly by Gerson, and then Gerson will pick up the loose ball again. Gets it back to teammate Eduardo Cruz, and the House will play it out to the midfield line.
You gotta just love that Cody Gerson, I'm telling you. Gordy Gerson, unbelievable.
Yep,
I don't think he ever leaves the floor.
He's a pest, and
he's a
not only is he a
player.
pest, he's a skilled pest, exactly.
Oh, tremendous player.
Machado with it up to Guilherme. Guilherme downloaded Diegues, who's got one tonight, but been otherwise quiet. Here's Machado. Long shot from about 55 feet goes out of play. Had a chance to catch up with Peter Sleewood before the game. He's Tom Traxler's assistant player coach and a guy that Trax relies a lot on to learn on the fly the nuances and trade of the indoor game. Sleewood was the starting goaltender for Orlando on opening night in Kissimmee back on November 30th. Went down with a hamstring injury in the second quarter and has not played since. Thought perhaps he might get a start tonight. He's understandably champing at the bit to get back in there and thinks he will be ready next weekend. That will be the SeaWolves' next game against Milwaukee, Martin Luther King Day special. Here's Diegues. Tried to feed it off to Alves, and it goes out of play, and it'll be a restart at the top of the arc now for the Tropics. So a set-piece chance again late in the third quarter. Tropics have not been great on set pieces this year. I can't remember a lot of set pieces goal. Guilherme's had a couple. There's a shot. Oh, and that just missed on a quick restart by Monolaris. Good idea. Here's Guilherme long ball, and House able to cover that up. Monolaris tried to catch the SeaWolves asleep and almost did it. Here's Monolaris down to Ricardo. Diegues with a shot. That misses far post, never got through. Wanted a handball on Schmerman, but no call.
You have to see the replay on that one.
Contact again at the neutral zone and a foul against Florida. Diegues with the extra touch, and Schmerman, couldn't tell if it caught the arm or the waist area there, the hip. So Freddie still trying to plead his case, but
ain't gonna work now.
Nope, a little after the fact for sure. Silva looking for someone upfield, finds an open Rico down to Freddie, and a couple of chances for Mugin, and House with a big moment, keeping Florida off the scoreboard here. Mugin tries a little give and go, and a takedown of Mugin by Sandoval, and that will be a restart for the Tropics. Here's that last effort by House as Mugin tried the little redirect, and House was there once and then there a second time as well, and got a little help.
Put off the line tonight.
Yeah. Freddie and Guilherme sharing a thought or two here on the restart. This is about halfway between the top of the box and the top of the arc. Freddie will put it in play here. Mugin, shot, and that goes off the glass out of play.
Well,
had an opening there and tried to curl it top corner. And
you got to question why DeSantos didn't take that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he certainly has the hot hand, but Freddie, a very talented restarter himself. And certainly if he sees the opportunity presented, not always the worst idea to be the guy to take the shot and not pass it off. So intercept here by J.P. Reyes. Gets it ahead to Arrico. Arrico off the boards. Good defensive play in front as Freddie was lurking far post with a half minute to go. Alvis steps up with the intercept. Alvis cut off by Gerson again. Back to Guillerme. Tropics going to go on a line change here with just 15 seconds to go. That's going to run some clock. Not sure they're fully aware that we're down to the final 10 seconds. Tulute with it. Tulute tried to get it through, and Gerson makes the block. So the Tropics not able to mount a last-minute attack here in the final 30 seconds, and Orlando will go to the final 15 minutes with a lead of 7-4. 2 goals in that third quarter for the Tropics, but Orlando gets one. Check that, one aside. Guillerme with the hat trick. And then the SeaWolves with an answer. So it was a 3-goal deficit at halftime. It's a 3-goal deficit for the Tropics as we head to the final 15 minutes. Back with more MASL soccer in just a moment.
Fabric in this bulletproof vest is so strong, it could stop a speeding bullet. And this biaxial braid fabric is so strong, we decided to build a hose out of it. And here it is, the brand new Pocket Hose Brass Bullet. So incredibly strong, it can stop these trucks dead in their tracks. Just turn on the water and watch the brass bullet inflate and expand to a full-size super hose. Then when you're done, turn off the water and it shrinks back down to a lightweight pocket hose. This new brass bullet hose will never tangle or kink. Never! Get the incredible 25-foot Pocket Hose Brass Bullet today for only $19.99. And you'll also get the Turbo Shot Jet Nozzle free. Order now and you can double your order. Just pay a separate fee. Toss the old hoses away and grab a brass bullet hose today.
Call 1-800-355-7430 to get your brass bullet hose. Call or visit brassbullethose.com. So call 1-800-355-7430. Order now.
Have you been denied credit or hit with high interest rates? A low credit score happens to many of us, especially if you've struggled with medical bills, divorce, student loans, job loss, and more. And millions of people are victims of incorrect items on their credit reports and don't even know it. This leads to a lower credit score. That's why you need Credit Repair now. We'll communicate with your creditors and the credit bureaus to address unfairly reported items, late payments, collections, charge-offs, and even bankruptcies. And that can lead to a higher credit score. Our proven process has resulted in past clients seeing on average 11 negative items removed from their credit report and a 40-point increase after the first 4 months in our program. Start working on your credit today. Call now to start repairing your credit score so that you can work toward getting the things you want, like a new car, new home, an education, or new job. Plus, call now and request your credit report and credit score for free in minutes.
Call 1-800-776-1642. That's 1-800-776-1642.
So work to be done here for the Tropics. 15 minutes to play and 3 to tie. Of course, as we mentioned last night in the MASL, there was 5 games. They were all 1-goal games. A lot can happen in a short period of time. Schmerman with it. Berche will step up. Guillerme then knocks it away. Schmerman will recover. This would be the second win of the season for Orlando. Improve them to 2-3, and the Tropics would fall to 3-6 and be the not-so-proud owners of a 3-game losing streak.
The bottom line is this, Brian. The bottom line is in times like this, your money guys, your top players have to come through. And besides Guillermo Dos Santos, I mean, it just hasn't happened tonight. Being perfectly candid here.
Ruiz with it. Over to Berche. Fernando Machado out there spot shifting tonight in his first ever MASL game. Berche battling and loses that battle to Moda. Moda, good recovery by Monaleris, but a 3-on-1, and Silva with a big save. Big save, 3-on-1, and Silva is able to snuff it out. Mujin, though, and again, Florida immediately loses possession. That's been a problem tonight, too. Far too many times the possession is just over before it starts, and again, in many cases, like we just saw, the SeaWolves are outworking the Tropics and winning those battles that they didn't win a couple of weeks ago.
You can imagine how bad the score would be if it wasn't for Hugo getting in the second half here.
He's played great in the second half, no question about it. Monaleris on the step up, and of course the Tropics in a situation where they're going to have to start taking some offensive chances, and you're going to see Orlando with probably some odd number situations more than you would normally see. Rico with it, gets it down to Freddie. Freddie tries to turn, has it knocked away. Machado drives it in, but well high and out of play. The Tropics opening a 3-game homestand tonight. They'll have Milwaukee in town next Saturday, and they conclude those 3 Saturday games in a row against the St. Louis Ambush on the 26th, and then another swing out to the Midwest with a Friday night date in St. Louis, February 1st, and a Saturday afternoon game in Kansas City on the 2nd, very similar to what the team played last weekend.
It ain't getting any easier, Brian.
No, it isn't. It is not. St. Louis an improved lot this year, no question. Here's a 3-on-2. Yep, Arico at 4-on-3 now. Arico, a little tentative there. Here's Guillerme, gets it over to Machado. Machado down low to Ladley. Ladley back to Machado. The Tropics never even got a shot away. Just too slow in development. Here's a chance, and a great save by House. His best of the night, and the rebound just over the crossbar. Guillerme just missed his 4th, and that was all House. Here's Guillerme again with it in the corner.
It's a horrible pass there.
Alves. Silva will come out now. He is able to come across the center line now because it's the 4th quarter. Machado gets it over to Dieguez, to Guillerme. Guillerme powers through, shot misses in front of Rico with a header, and that goes high and wide. Yeah, just a half step slow tonight. Seems like most of the game. Here's the chance and the header just off the crossbar, but House with easily his best save of the game as he denies Guillerme his 4th. What a great effort by...
What's the old saying, Brian? Mama said that there'd be days like that.
Yeah, it seemed. Yeah, this is one of them, but comes in an inopportune time after losing 2 on the road. This is Frietas with it, clears it to an open side. Alves pressuring Victor France. Now Dieguez with a takeaway. Dieguez has Toulouse. Toulouse with a chance. Back to Dieguez. Shot. Go! Well, there's one. They still need 2, but an unselfish play by Max Toulouse sets up Ricardo Dieguez, who gets his 2nd of the night. And it's 7-5.
I was going to blow a gasket because he passed the ball off, but a great pass here in the replay. Very unselfish by Max. Well, like I said, your big-time players have to step up.
And they did right there for sure. Max might be as unselfish a player as you'll find, and obviously could have perhaps scored it himself, but drew House out to him, and then Ricardo with the angle. And the relatively easy redirect. So it's 7-5 now as Arico and Schmerman tangle.
Well, let's not take a stupid penalty now. Let's continue with the momentum here.
Restart goes out of play, so Orlando will immediately get possession back. Bowden will pick it up on the far side now.
There's still plenty of time.
Oh, yeah, tons of time. I mean, as we said, Mississauga and Utica traded 3 goals in the last minute of the game last night. So here's Guillerme being watched in there by Frietas, taken away by Schmerman. 3-on-2 here for the SeaWolves, but Silva comes out to take it away from Gerson. Takedown of J.P. Reyes by Schmerman, with some words in there with JP and Schmerman. It was a bit of a frustrating night for JP.
JP is probably one of the most docile people in the world. You want her to fly.
Well, you can see a pretty big push there by Schmerman, and then another pretty toasty challenge. You can understand JP's frustration right there. Hugo out
one
there
of the nicest people you'll ever want to meet.
absolutely. So the Tropics will put it in play here to the right of their goal. Silva will do the honors. Looking for Mugin stepping up. Freddie won't get there, but Anthony Rico will. Being watched by Bowden. Lays it off to Berche, ahead back to Anthony. Anthony takes it off the boards, gets it back out to the middle of the field, which is always smart. To Touloute now. Touloute, he's got good one-on-one skills. Touloute into the zone and actually kind of stepped on the ball. Here's Mugin trying to bang one in front and can't do it. Yeah. And he knocks it out of play, yep. For Orlando, they'll get busy. They have played the fewest games of anyone in the league, and they start that stretch Monday the 21st, MLK Day special against Milwaukee, and then home against St. Louis on the 25th. And then a road trip to Utica City, where the FC, they're very good. And then at St. Louis following that trip to Utica.
Great pass there, a little bit too much.
Yep, Sandoval able to get there ahead of the Tropics. Freddie Mugin. Intercept by Berche, but it goes out of play, and he'll head to the bench on a line change. 10-10 to play, 7-5 our score. These two teams put up 15 goals combined 2 weeks ago, so I don't think we're done with the goal scoring yet here tonight. Carpet just came up in the corner then. That's kind of dangerous. Here's Luis Mota with it. Rare shift for Mota, and has the shot blocked by Ruiz.
But don't worry, next Saturday we play once again. This time with a prize going up to $100.
Well, if you're Orlando, the one thing you don't want to do is take too much air out of the ball. You still want to be aggressive when the opportunity presents itself. Here's a chance in the zone. Tried to get it in front of Mota, couldn't do it, and Guilherme will collect the loose ball. Guilherme gets it up to Lucas Monaleros.
Hey boys, they gotta press up.
Guilherme with a little bit of space. Now Mota will step up. Comes into the Orlando end of the field and off the glass right to House. Ruiz will play it back to, rather that's Machado playing it back to Silva. Up to Rafa Alves, being watched by Alvarez. Rafa with a push and a foul.
Okay, I guess I must have missed the push.
Yeah, he had a pretty good shove there on
Okay.
Alvarez as he tried to create an opportunity.
Yeah, I say so. Gotta get these glasses
Can
fixed.
pick that up on replay.
Yeah,
Well, you know, I don't see it all either by any stretch, but yeah, he got the arm up pretty good. Yeah, not a bad idea to at least try and create the opportunity, but if the referee let him play, then it all works out, but correct call. Silva will come up and he'll dish it off to JP. Thought he might push it up over the center line there. He will come up to the center circle, though. Touloute tries to get by a couple of players. Still does in the corner in front of Freddie. Freddie couldn't get there. Shot, that just misses. Freddie in front. Touloute, he can't control it. Anthony Arrico just missed. He's frustrated.
Yeah, I'd be frustrated, too, if I missed a goal from 5 feet out.
That was a good opportunity, and he missed by about a foot. Here's a long ball down to Mugin. Mugin in a good defensive play by Rojas to knock it out of there. Touloute will try and track it down, and it'll go out of play, and it'll be a...
No, that's... Oh, rightfully so. Max is upset.
Yeah, I thought that touched an Orlando player last, but the referee says did not. So Orlando will get the kick in here. Time starting to become a bit of a factor. 8:18 to go. Here's Gerson with it.
With numbers again.
Gerson in front. Neal looking for the hat trick. Silva with a trade. Rebound, and that's Luke Bowden collecting
once again
the loose ball.
How do you... Yeah, well...
Well, at this point of the game, the Tropics certainly putting players more in the midfield and offensive zone to try and play catch-up. And when you do that, as we said, you just get numbers, situations that are against you. And Silva made the first save against Neal, and Bowden just got to the rebound just a half second ahead of Hugo, and it's 8-5 Orlando. But yeah, this is not one that will be preserved in the record books on how to play good defense. And wouldn't not be a surprise in the next couple of minutes to see the Tropics go to a sixth attacker. We'll be interested to see who that is. It's always Victor Pereiras.
I was waiting for that in St. Louis, and it was just Hugo da Silva was essentially the sixth attacker.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that that's a bad thing.
Well, we'll see how they may employ that exactly as a strategy, but we'll see. Here's a header through to Dieguez, but a little too far, and good work in there by Yoshio Sandoval to disrupt Dieguez just enough. I think they're going to call the foul actually back downfield. Brian Miller was waiting to see if continuation would be in play, but the Tropics picked up possession, so the foul called back inside the Orlando yellow line now.
You got to give Orlando credit tonight, Brian. I'll tell you, they played a very smart game. You know, they've answered when they've had to answer. Timely, power play goals, 3 of them.
Yeah, and they came out of the chute hot. I mean, they scored in the first minute and never let up. They were clearly the better team right from the start, and it is pretty much continued as we see Dieguez, who got the Tropics within a couple, but then the Luke Bowden marker to make it 8-5. Back with more MASL soccer in a moment. So Tom Traxler with a couple of last-minute pieces of coaching advice for his troops, trying to protect this lead. 7:35 to go. Hugo Silva will stay in the game. No sixth attacker yet for the Tropics. Now, they did not go to a sixth attacker in that loss against St. Louis. They elected to keep Silva out on the floor largely as a sixth attacker, although, you know, he's a goaltender. He's not a forward or a midfielder, so he doesn't have quite the finishing and scoring skills that one of those players might have. But without Victor Pereiras, I don't see anybody on the bench even holding or making a move to go for a sixth attacker jersey. So it may be Hugo Silva to step up into the offensive zone and become that sixth man. We'll see. Alvis played it away, and immediately Orlando with a possession. And boy, that's been a bugaboo tonight for the Tropics too. Just too many short possessions. Here's Gerson in front, redirecting a goal, and Orlando just piling it on now. Just a terrible sequence right there for the Tropics in every imaginable way. I mean,
yeah,
it was the epitome of
tonight.
Basically the game here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, once again left out to dry. I don't know. It's like we're It's like we're playing our first game in our history or something. I mean, it's
frustrating. Yeah,
it's
no
very,
question.
very discouraging.
Yep, very, very frustrating. Lucas Monaleras is actually going to come on now as the 6th attacker, so it'll be Monaleras to don the 6th attacker jersey. That role normally played, as we said, by Victor Pereras, who is not dressed tonight. Should be back next week against Milwaukee. They think Lucas Teixeira should be back next week. Enzo Marangoni should be back next week, and it'll be as close to full health as the Tropics will have been all year. Lucas Monaleras wearing that teal 6th attacker jersey. Here's a bang off the boards in front and cleared out of there by Orlando, who now will go into attack mode in the zone. Here's Schmerman with a chance, and that goes wide. Monaleras tracks it down, and he'll head the other way for Florida. Monaleras tried to get it ahead to Diegues, and it hit, I thought, a Orlando player, but they're going to say apparently it's a kick in for the SeaWolves as Silva comes back on the floor here. Not sure what happened on the far sideline there. It looked like it just went on a play real quick and came back in, but since it was Monaleras who had tried to head it upfield, it was out of play and a kick in for Orlando. Rojas has it taken away. Diegues, but doesn't have anybody with him. Diegues with a little pressure now. Arico with pressure. Diegues almost makes the steal, but SeaWolves come out of there with it. Here's a chance by Rojas, and he misses just wide far post, and that one rolls out of play. It'll be a kick in for the Tropics with 6:12 to go.
It's like a shooting gallery now.
9-5 Orlando. Scored 4 in the first, and the Tropics never recovered. Monaleras over to Guilherme. Toulouse back to Monaleras. Guilherme will get it back to Monaleras. Time very much of the essence here. Orlando more than happy to keep Florida out on the perimeter and not taking shots. Here's Arico in, shot to go! Hard work by Anthony Arico makes it a 9-6 game. See if it's under the heading of too little, too late.
Well, you can't be scoring 1 and giving up 2, Brian. You know, it doesn't work that way.
Well, it does if you're the one that's scoring 2. You know, in the day, that was that's how they played this game. You'd score 2 to give up 1. But that only works if you're on the right end of the equation.
Exactly.
And Florida has not been so far, but good hard work by one of the Tropics' true heart and soul players, Anthony Arico, makes it 9-6. Reyes will play it out for Laidley. Laidley taken down. Cruz there. Now Ruiz with it. Ruiz gets through. He's got an opportunity. Gets it over to Laidley with a shot. He can't get it through. Laidley again, and he's taken down. No whistle. Gerson with it. Tropics had a good opportunity there with Guilherme along with Laidley, but Laidley couldn't ever get really the shot or the pass away in time. Lucas Monaleras will step back on as the 6th attacker now inside 5 minutes to go. This was the exact score 2 weeks ago, except it was the Tropics on top 9-6. Guilherme, long shot, blocked by Schmerman, and Richard will knock it back out to midfield and all the way into the Florida third of the field. Line change for Orlando. Monaleras over to Diegues. In front, oh, and a header by Diegues rather on the pass from Arico, just missed. Almost a nice connection there. Guillerme with 3 tonight. Over to Max Tulute now. To Monalaris. Freddie lays it off to Tulute. In the corner. Shot! That hits off the post. Arico just misses his second in a minute. Now Freddie down to Arico again. Arico in front. Knocked out of there by Orlando. Full prevent defense now by the SeaWolves as Monalaris will have to track it down all the way in his own goal box. To Tulute. Tulute to Guillerme. Back to Monalaris. Down to Guillerme. Guillerme with that big left foot. Misses well wide. Arico leaves it for Tulute. Freddie now lays it off to Anthony. Back to Tulute. Tulute down to Arico. Arico in front. Doesn't get through, and it's cleared out of there. And this is heading for the open goal, but Monalaris is able to use his hands and corral it just before it crosses the goal line. Just over 3 to go. Tulute. Tulute has it knocked off of his foot. Long ball into the zone by Freitas. Thiago will settle it down defensively for Orlando now, as he is the point person, if you will, on the top of the 1-3-1 formation that the SeaWolves will employ. Here's Tulute. Can't get it through to Mugin. Long ball down the field, and that's going to go wide. Monalaris will pick it up as Mendoza was pressuring. Guillerme with it. 2.5 to go. Guillerme in over the yellow line. Guillerme with a shot. Can't get it through. Who else but Gerson on the block? And Gerson with a bid for a long goal and a score. So Gordy Gerson will celebrate. And Orlando puts the icing on the cake here tonight with their 10th goal. That ties the season worst for the Tropics. They gave up 10 with the non-team that played in Mississauga. Silva was back out there but couldn't obviously get back in time. So Gordy Gerson with another.
Tremendous player. Great job by the SeaWolves tonight. You got to give him all the credit in the world.
Yeah, he has been probably their best player, and that is often the case. He is very talented, and as I said, the thing that impresses me about him, Chris, is he does it at both ends of the floor. He works hard.
Yeah.
He doesn't just score goals.
He's not a cherry picker. He's not a floater. You know, to use a hockey term, he works both ends. He works his butt off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just a tremendous player. Just in the 2 games that I've seen him play, Brian, he's one of the premier players in the league.
And there's an 11 for Orlando as the long chip finds the mark. This one getting real ugly now as the SeaWolves will celebrate down in front of the Wolf Pack, their cheering section that made the trip over from the greater Lakeland area tonight.
Fans, be sure to stick around for the autograph session following tonight's game on the field. The ladies on the inside.
Yep, Orlando earned it here tonight. There's no question.
Absolutely. All credit to Orlando.
They were the better
side. You
side.
make all the excuses you want in the world. Bottom line is they earned it. They worked their butts off, and they were the better team.
Yep, they were. Have been, and 4 more chances for the Tropics against the SeaWolves.
It's going to be a fun last 4 games.
Yeah,
I can tell you that. I mean,
it's
strange that we're playing here 3 times than they're at the end of the season 3 times. So,
including the last game of the regular season on April 13th. Here's a steal by Reyes and a whistle and a foul against JP. Yeah, the first 3 are all here at the RP Funding Center. The last one comes February 16th, which is the only home game in February for the Tropics.
I just hope that those games mean something from a Tropics perspective.
Right. And then 2 in March, and that last one April 13th at the Silver Spurs Arena. So, yeah, they will probably mean something to somebody in the division, but whether it's the Tropics or the SeaWolves or the Comets or the Ambush, we don't know. It's a division that could still play out in a lot of different ways behind the wave. the Tropics will lick their wounds and try to figure out how to recover from a 3-game losing streak against maybe the best team in the league, the Milwaukee Wave, who come in next Saturday.
Okay.
Here's Ruiz with it. Ruiz looking for some space. Gets it over to Arico. Sends it through on to House, and he is able to scoop it.
Mercifully 40 seconds left in the game.
Arico still working hard, though. You'd expect nothing less from Anthony.
Oh, yeah.
Monolaris with it. Over to Ruiz. Ruiz with a long shot. That never got through, and Arico is shaken up. He's had an injury, and he's back down.
Well, he had an ankle injury.
He did.
Twisted his ankle, or he had not twisted, I think, in the last game here. He got taken into the boards pretty hard. And
yeah, he's been out. He did not make the trip last weekend. And it does look like it's that right ankle again, yeah. That would be kind of unfortunate here with just 25 seconds left to go if he re-aggravated that. Tropics already shorthanded. So Rico will head off. So we'll play out the final 25 seconds here. As we said, the SeaWolves will improve to 2-3. The Tropics will fall to 3-6. And look to regroup against Milwaukee. In fact, both of these clubs will have Milwaukee as their next opponent. The SeaWolves will welcome the Wave to Silver Spurs on Monday, March 21st, an MLK special.
You know, I don't know why our PA guy does that, Brian, to be honest with you. I mean, you do that when you're winning.
Yeah, you don't need to do that when it's a 6-goal.
I'm going to talk to it makes no sense to me, but that's the least of my concerns right now.
I was going to say there was a lot that didn't make sense tonight if you're a fan of the Tropics. A disappointing performance overall. There were moments, certainly in stretches, but every time it looked like the Tropics might climb back in and take the momentum back from Orlando. The SeaWolves had an answer and then some, as the Orlando franchise sets a record for themselves, a very young record, but 11 goals is a high water mark for them on the season, and 11 against is a high water mark as well on the negative side for the Tropics. Not a team record in terms of the Tropics history, but certainly for this season. So the final, once again, the Orlando SeaWolves win it 11-5. The Stars tonight, no question about it. Guilherme dos Santos with his 3 goals. That first goal banging off the back of House, but then a couple of nice ones, including that one there in the first half. And as we saw, Ricardo and Max
Gordy
Duluth
Gerst is
doing
not
some
one
work.
of the Stars,
I think
Brian, there's something fishy in Denmark.
I think we'll see a couple of Gordy Gerson highlights in just a bit as Guilherme finishes off the hat trick. Lewis Neal is the second star here tonight with the 2 power play goals, almost identical. If you see the first coming up here in just a moment, you won't need to really stay tuned for the second because they look similar. Wide open at the bottom of the box and just a simple redirect for Neal for his first. And here comes the second, similar goal. And unfortunately for the Tropics, their man-down unit, which has been so good all season, giving up power play goals tonight. And that was a little bit of the difference as well. And as we said, the first star tonight, Gordy Gerson, another terrific game for the diminutive guy with the big foot and the platinum hairdo. That was his first, left all alone in front of Silva. He doesn't miss. And then that goal, 5-hole, the 7th goal for Orlando, and then his hat trick goal as well. And then actually the long empty netter for Gordy Gerson. So the Orlando captain with 4 tonight, and a big effort as he climbs into the stands to celebrate with some of the Orlando fans that made the trip here tonight. So not the result that the Tropics were looking for by any stretch, but they will regroup and go at it again next Saturday night here in Lakeland as they host the Milwaukee Wave. Orlando, as we said, will be in action next on the 21st when they also host the Milwaukee Wave. So a lot of goals. They came fast. They came furious. Victor France started it just 39 seconds in for the SeaWolves, and Orlando just never stopped pouring it on, scoring 11. The final, once again, Orlando 11, the Tropics 6. Have a great night, everybody.